Some say that boxing and combat is the ultimate teacher. And after a few years of being involved in it, I feel like I'm starting to understand why. Boxing isn't just a sport, it's a fucking whole way of life. And it takes more than just physical strength or being tough to be a decent boxer. And if you're open to it, it will teach you so much more than just how to throw a punch. In this video, I'm going to reflect on 6 lessons that boxing has taught me inside the ring that have helped me outside the ring. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I want to make a little video about boxing. Some of the lessons I've learned. I mean, there's so many, to be honest, but these are 6 poignant ones that stuck out for me. I've got a little notepad here. I made some notes today. The thing is as well with these boxing skills is that you learn them in boxing or from coach or in the boxing classes, but they actually have real world application in the long term, which is pretty cool. I mean, I would imagine that happens in other sports as well. It's just the experience of life happening, do you know what I mean? Which as a slightly older person, I get to benefit from if I'm conscious of it. So the first lesson boxing has taught me is about discipline. Now, there's a lot to be said about discipline, but I think, you know, for me, training, you can apply this to the going to the gym as well, or whatever sport you do, whatever it is you do to stay on top of your health and fitness. There's something to be said about the person who can get up day in and day out and go and grind. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean like grinding a shitty job. I mean about putting yourself in a position to do things that you don't necessarily have to do, but you want to do. You know, there's something to be said about that level of discipline. And, you know, boxing is such a sport, or combat sports is a certain way where you have to dedicate yourself to it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to perform on fight night, and nobody wants to get the shit beaten out of them in front of 1,000 people. Discipline is very, very important. If you don't have it, you know, I've seen it countless times. People that don't train hard enough, you know, they're not maintaining their diet properly. They're not doing the right things in training. They're not hitting the road. They're not running. Do you know what I mean? And lo and behold, they end up getting demoralized. So you have to have discipline. Crucial. And obviously that's going to apply to your real life as well. You cannot be undisciplined in this day and age. You know, that's the majority of people. I've been there myself, so I know exactly what it's like. You know, you have to have discipline. Lesson number 2, the importance of endurance. Now, when I first started boxing, I could run for about 8 minutes and I was fucking gassed on the running machine. You know, you need to have endurance, especially for boxing. Like, it's one of the most demanding sports there is. You always have to train more than you think you're going to need, which is, how can you put a limit on that? It's how long's a piece of string sort of thing. So you just fucking train your absolute tits off. Endurance is crucial, and it's crucial for real life also. And if you don't have the endurance or the capability to endure things, you're not going to get very far, are you? Lesson number 3, keeping calm in adversity. Now, everybody knows someone who loses their shit all the time. It's not a good characteristic. And that's going to have detrimental effects to you and other people. You know, you need to be a calm person. I've seen people before that get into boxing, they come to the gym and they get punched in the face and they just fucking lose their shit. And you can't do that. You know, you're gonna get, you're either gonna go wild, throw too many punches and you're gonna gas yourself out, or you're just gonna get embarrassed, or both, you know. And that applies to real life also. So you need to be able to keep calm in certain situations. Just made a video about the Florida Airbnb. We've taken on more debt than we've ever been in our lives. You know, we've got a big mortgage. We had to take extra debt to finish the house off and furnish it. You know, but it's okay. You know, I look long term. We're going to be in a better position than we've ever been in. Sometimes you have to take a risk. You can't be fucking, you know, if I'm losing my shit now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? That panic will spread, you know, it will spread through the household. It's not good. You need to be calm. Obviously, you know, it takes time to be calm when getting punched in the face. It's not really a natural thing to be calm whilst getting punched in the face repeatedly. But it does help stabilize you and helps you to learn how to think in those primal situations, you know. And although people have asked me, and I've seen other people make videos about it, do you need to learn to fight? You know, personally, I don't think you do. But at the same time, times when I've needed to fight and I've had it in my arsenal and I've, you know, it's been an absolute necessity, it's served me very, very well. So it's one of those things, depending on where you stand. But, you know, for me as a father, I don't want my son to be a fighter. There's lots of situations that if I wasn't a fighter, I would never have been in the first place. You know, it's just the way it goes. But I think that takes a long time to mature into you, especially for a man. Next lesson: the difference between winning and losing. Now it sounds obvious, but you know, there's no lies per se in boxing. It's very black and white. Win or lose. It's like cut and dry. The wins are important for your confidence, just like in real life, and that is why when fighters, you know, get protected earlier on in their careers when they're starting to rise up through the ranks, is because to suffer a loss so early on is really fucking hard to deal with. I had a good little run of wins and then I lost a fight and then it fucking really done me in, I'm not gonna lie. You know, you put all this time and energy, you might get a fucking bullshit decision as well, which is another little kick in the dick. But you know, it is what it is. You have to be able to get back on the horse and go again and train again regardless of the outcome. You know, win or lose, it's important to go out on your fucking shield. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, winning and losing. Also the saying, when you lose, you learn. So there's also something to be taken from the losses as well. How to be a ruthless warrior and a gentleman at the same time. My dad was probably the best example of this before boxing. Do you know what I mean? My dad was absolutely fucking ruthless, but respected and a complete gentleman, you know. And then going into boxing, you know, you see it all the time. There's gentlemen, you know, look at Alexander Usyk, absolute gentleman, but when the bell rings, he's gonna fucking destroy you, you know, like most professional boxers. Do you know what I mean? And I love that, and I've had it before in sparring and, you know, whatnot. The bell goes and it's war, but then after you're shaking hands, you're hugging. Do you know what I mean? I love that about boxing. I've met some of the most amazing people and lifetime friends through boxing. People that we've hit each other in the face and we've beaten the shit out of each other. We've drawn blood, but we're like brothers. Do you know what I mean? And that is one of the coolest things about boxing. It's got a negative, you know, people have a lot of negative thoughts around it and think it is violent. It's not violent. That's why they call it the sweet science. There's a skill to it. There's an art form. There's always the shady side of it with people that just want to see people get knocked out and brutalized, and that's disgusting in my opinion. You know, but the sport of boxing, being able to hit and not get hit, is like art. That's why I love boxing. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you got something from it. If there's a boxing gym near you, you should 100% go and join, even just to do it for the experience just one time, because you will learn a lot about boxing and you will learn a lot about yourself. I'll catch you in the next one.